Yo, it's your boy Brumman from the 5th floor, a.k.a. ISO Joe, a.k.a. Joe Johnson, a.k.a. Joe Johnson with the hoodie, a.k.a. Steph Curry, one half of the Splash Brothers. If you know, you know, a.k.a. God Sham God. If you know, you know, a.k.a. Coach Calipari. If you know, you know. God damn. Fric.
There we go.
All right. If you know.
It's your boy Killing the First, a.k.a. the Black Klay Thompson, one half of the Splash Brothers. If you know, you know. A.k.a. Lou Will. If you know, you know.
I don't know about the Lou Will,
You
bro.
say this every time, but if I'm not Lou Will, then you're not Joe Johnson. I'm more Lou Will than you are Joe Johnson.
Are you crazy?
I live my rap.
You've never had two bitches at the same time.
You know what? Then you're not gonna indict me. That's
No. Here's the thing.
We'll leave it at. You are so right. We'll leave it at that.
No. I gotta call a spade a spade. Hold on, stop.
I am doing my introduction.
I gotta call a spade a spade.
You have to wait.
Do your introduction because I gotta call a spade a spade.
AKA Wilt Chamberlain. If you know, you know. You can't dispute that at all. The numbers speak for themselves. AKA Frac.
Hold on. All right, now back to this Lou Will shit. Let me explain something. I need a clip bit of this shit right here. There's a difference between niggas who's motherfucking players and niggas who's just deceiving two women, my nigga. You was not Lou Will. You was deceiving bitches.
I wasn't deceiving. They knew.
You a Decepticon.
For starters, I am not a Decepticon for niggas pop up in my crib to what you were saying.
You know what?
I am not a Decepticon. We're going to leave that where it's at.
I'm over it.
We going to leave it where it's at.
Go ahead.
Leave it where it's at. But anyway, before we go any further, this episode is brought to you and sponsored by Lifestyle Salons and is produced by Cast Sound Lab, CSL Studios, CSL_Studios. That's all right. Yeah, for your local podcasting needs and necessities. Yeah, definitely is. So we are joined here today by a very, 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 very
it's an important guest.
This is a
big
deal. So we are joined by the one and only Miss Aisha Hall. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thank y'all for having me.
We need a round of applause.
Yeah,
let's
can we get a soundboard or something?
Yeah, like what's going on?
Check the budget.
Oh my nigga, we are the budget. But anyway, you might have heard of her. She's been featured on The Breakfast Club, BET own American Gangster. She has a very, very interesting story.
I'm dying to hear this.
Yeah, because I still not even 100%.
He tried to explain it to me, and
I was trying to explain some shit I didn't even really understand myself. Talk about the blonde leading the blind. But so before we get into that, right? Let's just start from step one. So where are you from?
So I'm from Strong Island, Long Island.
Wait, all right, this episode's over.
This is what we're not gonna do. This is not
what the hell is Strong Island?
You one of the Cashport type of people, right?
It's strong.
No,
I have never heard that. I've never heard Strong Island in my life, bro.
I've heard about it's a 90s thing, like when like Prodigy was rapping and shit, calling niggas done. You feel me?
Oh my god.
Get breathe. All right,
Left rack ass.
What part of
Okay,
Don't say Hempstead.
I'm from Roosevelt. It's next to Hempstead. It's between Hempstead and Freeport.
We know where it's at.
They call it the Velt.
The Velt, that's right. See, at least you know that. Exit 21.
It's
the
cringy.
Velt.
Oh my god.
Not Roosevelt Field.
Jesus Christ.
Definitely not Roosevelt Field. So let me give you a little history about Roosevelt and why Strong Island is important. Okay. First of all, you know, I'm a rapper, right?
Okay.
So some of the founders of hip hop itself are from Roosevelt, you know. So, you know, Public Enemy is from Roosevelt. And they were some of the pioneers of hip hop, period. So, you know, that's your Flavor Flav, your Terminator X. You know, it was Chuck D. You know,
Chuck D's from Long Island?
Chuck D lived around the corner from my house. My father actually did a lot of music with him. So that's how I actually got into hip hop. Because back when, you know, get up, get down. 911 is a joking. That was a big.
So you from Strong Island too?
Nah,
you kind of happy over there. Like, that's my shit. You gotta relax.
So like that right there, like, you know, even though Roosevelt's only a square mile, you know, it have, you know, Eddie Murphy's from Roosevelt.
Eddie Murphy's from Roosevelt?
Yes,
I thought niggas from like Chicago. I thought from like Illinois.
What shit?
Nah, he's from Roosevelt.
Okay.
He's from Roosevelt Junior Senior High School. Yeah, Roosevelt. Him and his brother Charlie, they both are from Roosevelt.
I mean, I would assume Charlie.
So that was, you know, Roosevelt got some people. Who else is from Roosevelt? The basketball player.
What basketball player?
Dr. J.
Dr. J from Long Island. He actually is from Long Island.
Dr. J. Roosevelt Rough Riders. The school is actually named after him. Yeah, so Roosevelt got some people.
I ain't gonna lie. Dr. J. That's the Gotta respect Dr. J. Ain't gonna lie. Gotta respect the doctor. But I'm still not calling y'all Strong Island.
It's
not.
Strong Island.
I don't give motherfucking Michael Jordan was from Long Island. Y'all gonna be Long
You know
Island
what?
until it is what it is.
I'm from Long Island. The boss. So you gotta respect the LI.
And at that note, we give it up.
I can't argue with that one.
Strong Island is
can't argue with that one.
If they wasn't strong before, they strong now.
Okay, cool. So
right?
let's talk about yours. You say your dad was really into music and stuff like that.
Yeah. So my dad came here when he was like 6 or 7 years old from Jamaica.
Okay.
And he was a reggae artist.
What was his name? Can you say his name?
Of course.
Okay.
Prince Colin.
Okay.
My dad actually was murdered while I was in prison.
Whoa.
Yeah. But he was
that.
no, it's okay. I mean, it happens, unfortunately. But my dad, was like the boss. Like everybody knows him from that era. So like through Queens, Brooklyn, Long Island, my father was very well known, very popular. Okay. He did a lot of reggae music. He ran the street, and then unfortunately he got arrested and then deported, and then he got murdered in Jamaica.
He was in Jamaica. Oh,
yeah, he was in Jamaica.
That's how that happened?
Yeah.
Wow, that's nuts.
So that happened. But anyway, he was a huge influence in my life. You know what I mean? Because he was not scared of anybody. You mention his name anywhere, it's instant respect. He was just one of those dudes that just was a supreme intellectual, but also a hustler.
Gotcha.
That kind of got me to be how I am and who I am. People always tell me, Ish, you so serious. I'm like a serious chick, they say. I'm really not that serious, but I'm kind of serious, but I get that from him, So he ain't play with his bread. Of course, I ain't play with my bread,
Facts.
I ain't play with no, I have a certain type of people that can be around me only. If you show any other character than that, then, I can't rock with you. So I got that from him, definitely.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
So, all right, boom. So you mentioned your dad was a hustler. So I'm assuming that was the first time he's the person who kind of really introduced you to like that hustling mindset. Can you say that?
100%.
So when was the first time you could say to yourself like you attempted to hustle something? Because a lot of people feel like hustling just start from like an illegal standpoint. Like I'm just gonna wake up and sell drugs. Like it starts from prior to that. That's not. You can't really get a hustle. You have to have it. So like when did you realize like, yo, you know what? Maybe I am, but I got the hustler spirit in me.
The first incident probably was like when me and my sister used to like kind of steal a little bit of his weed, like elementary, junior high school, and go.
Elementary school, you
was
was
out there
stealing
selling block
weed?
work?
Like 7th, 8th grade. Really.
Oh my god!
In
Me
the
not
school,
laugh. That's regular.
That's that was the first thing, like, because my father used to always have a lot of money, so it was like we always wanted a lot of money. You kind of want what you see, you know what I mean? So that was the first thing, and then I just started running little hustles from when I was young, like. Any little job. I always had a summer job, but then at the summer job, I was trying to hustle something, So I just
You selling weed at the summer job?
No, I wasn't selling
Shout
weed
out to
at the
summer youth.
job.
Oh my God, niggas say, this $1,300 for the summer ain't cutting it at
Some of you were saying like, wait, what was her name again?
I actually used to sell beer, right? So I used to work at Jones Beach. You know the Jones Beach summer jobs. I don't know. Y'all might be too young for that.
We from
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
The fuck
We don't
you
know
doing? It's
nothing.
nothing about no Jones Beach.
I've been to Jones Beach once in my life.
I got there
y'all
once because the
missing out.
GPS sent me there by mistake.
Y'all was missing out. Jones Beach was the best job ever. You worked in the concession stand, and they have a limit on 2 beers that you could sell, to people.
Oh, okay.
So what I would do is I would, fill up cups with mad beer before we open, and then hustle the beers on the side to like the bikers or whoever wanted extra beer. So I always had that hustle in me. Like I was always thinking.
So you responsible for all the bullshit on the Southern State.
Yes.
Yes. There we go.
Okay. So talk to us about school. What school you went to? You went to school in Long Island?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started off at Roosevelt, and then I switched to Freeport. So I graduated from Freeport High School.
I think they call that the port.
The port?
Cashport. Cashport.
Actually, Port Knox, actually.
Yo.
So get the names right. Strong Island, Port Knox, you got to clarify the other names.
Long Island is really pissing me off. Well, y'all OD with these nicknames. All right, boom. So I seen in the doc that so after high school you attempted to go to college, right? So you went to
I
college.
actually went to college on a full track scholarship.
Really?
Yeah,
What
so
school
I
you
used to
went
run track, New York Tech.
Okay.
So I went to New York Institute of Technology, and I ran track there. But that's where all the fuckery started, right?
Oh,
so
boy.
you can't work. When you're on a scholarship, you can't work.
Oh, you can't?
No, not if you not
on a
the
sports
NCAA
scholarship?
Yes,
That's
you
why
can't
all
work.
student athletes be broke.
Yeah, you can't
They
work.
don't be broke.
They be broke.
Okay, allegedly. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, so
I
I
didn't
went
even know
there,
that though.
and So I started working off the books. And I was working at a mortgage company, and I was doing like telemarketing.
Okay.
So they was like, every time you get somebody to give you their social security number, so they can run their credit, we'll give you $50. So I was like, all right. So here I am. Like, I was probably like maybe 18, so I'm getting sometimes I would get $500-$600 every time I went to work, like 3-4 times a week. So that was kind of good.
Damn, that much niggas was giving you their socials?
Yeah, because you calling back then, it was like the mortgage thing was a big deal. People refinancing, whatever, and that was okay. But one day I was leaving and I seen, a whole bunch of guys coming to work and they was pulling up in Bentleys and S550s, that's what was out back then. And I'm like, damn, the S500, that's what was out. And I was like,
damn, you old school.
Yeah, for real. So I was like,
you old school.
How they getting all of this? They don't look that much older than me. And they was like, those are the loan officers. They process the loans. I was like, how can I do that? So make a long story short, I found my way into doing that.
You left school?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't until I got my first big lump sum doing that, then I left school because I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm supposed to graduate this school, right, and be making like $40,000-$50,000 if I'm lucky, and I can do that, in a couple of months. This school ain't for me, so that was it. I went full time into working as a mortgage person, and then I graduated from that, and I was like, you know what? A lot of people, I learned so much. I purchased my first house. I was like 20 years old.
Damn.
Wow.
Because I'm closing mortgages all day. And I'm like, this step 1, step 2, step 3. They make it for our people like it's so hard.
You know how to do it like
so
this.
I'm like, I'm going to do it for myself. So I did it for myself. But once I did it for myself, I'm like, there's probably a lot of other people around my age group that probably could do the same thing if they knew how. So I started training people, like a mortgage little training school out of my apartment.
God damn it.
That
You really are Jamaican.
Yeah, work. For starters, bro, think about when we was 20 and think about if we was in any position to buy a crib. Bro, when I was 20, I was nowhere close to thinking about buying a house. Son.
That's most people.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah, but I was just laser. Like I said, I always been serious. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I was always like trying to do something big, and I was very focused. I was focused on like my music, and then I was focused on, my business. So I'm like, all right, next step, get the mortgage school. That goes good. So now I'm like, I'm not working for a mortgage company anymore.
Oh, you said fuck.
I'm gonna do my own thing, and I'm gonna broker myself out. So I get a call from a guy. At this age, I'm probably like 23. I get a call from a guy. And he's
you stuck with it for a while.
Yeah, I was doing it for a minute. So I get a call from a guy, and he's like, I need a loan. And I'm like, well, just, a mortgage? And he's like, well, I already have a home, but I want to get a loan against it. I said, well, what amount do you need? And he's like, about $3-4 million. I don't remember the exact number. And I'm like,
he just needs a loan for
I'm like, that's a lot. I said, I don't have a lender that's going to give you that amount. Yeah. So, what do you need it for? And he's like, I'm getting to a private placement trade. I'm like, private placement? What the hell is that? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I get involved in commodities and private placement platforms. I'm like, man, I can't help you, right? But I'm like this.
right.
You know what I mean?
Google
so now
everything.
I see like private placement platforms, and I'm doing all this research, and basically he needed money because he wanted to show that he was worth like $100 million, but he needed to have like $3 or $4 million to get into the trade. But I'm like, well, if the trade is worth $100 million, why doesn't he have to have $100 million? Yeah. And it said, you don't have to actually have that amount. You just need to show it in the bank, and you spend whatever you want to spend. So I'm like, okay. So to break it down in layman terms, you walking into a sneaker store, you want to buy, it's a Jordan specialty store. Nobody else has these Jordans. They cost $1,000. You get to the door and they're like, how much you got? You like, I got $1,000. I'm coming here to buy my sneakers. And they're like, well, how much you have in the bank? So you like, I got like $5,000 in the bank, so I got plenty. Nope, sorry, we only letting people in here that's worth $50 million. You like, huh?
Oh,
I'm only coming to spend $1,000. So the white boy pull up, you know what I mean? He coming, how much you got? I got $1,000 on me. How much you worth? Oh, my family worth $100 million. Here's the proof. They let him in. So he's going to buy those same sneakers that you could afford, but because you don't have the net worth, they're not letting you in. So that's how the trading works.
No, that's how that works.
That's how that works.
Qualify.
You have to qualify. So the way I got in trouble, so I start this company. Now that I figure out what is needed, I'm like, yo, I could make a killing. So I'm like, how much do you have to pay to show that you worth $100 million? Like, He's like, well, usually, there's companies that will let you borrow that or do different things, but they want to charge like 10%. You're going to be having to show $1 million is going to cost you. I'm like, $1 million. So I'm like, well, maybe I could find somebody that's worth $100 million that would be willing to put my clients' names on their accounts, but they can't touch the money. They just have their names on it. So when you get to that sneaker store, it's like, yeah, I'm worth $100 million. Look, it's only on paper, but you're not actually touching the money.
How often do they go back to double check to even see?
Just one time.
Oh, there's just that one time.
Just that one time check. So I'm hearing cha-ching. I'm like, if they charging people $1 million, 500 grand, shoot, I could charge 100 grand. And so I started calling up hedge fund managers. I started calling up billionaires. Now,
Could you break that down real quick? What is I always heard it, but I never. What is a hedge fund? You only hear about
that shit in Netflix series when niggas be wild.
In the one sentence answer, hedging, right, is when you are you hedge against a bet going up or going down. So you know how in the stock market people make money when the stock goes up, but when you hedge, you can set it up where you make money when the stock drops. So when you hedge, it's like you never really lose because you're betting on both. So even if you're in the middle, it's kind of hard to explain, but that's kind of
I kind of understand.
I'm start hedging on.
You ever go to the casino? You ever play roulette?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how in roulette you could play like the red, the black,
or the numbers.
Mm-hmm. So you can hedge the bet by playing the red, the black,
and the numbers,
and the numbers and the odds. So the odds of you losing everything is slim
to none
because you bet on so many different things, right? So that's kind of like hedging. It's like hedging your bet.
Shit! All right, let me try to explain it. So it's like I could bet on the color, the number, or the position. Mm-hmm. But if I bet on all three, if I win, it makes up for what I lose, so I don't really lose anything to begin with.
For all my hood niggas, she basically said, you go to the corner store, you play lotto, you playing it 4-1-1-4 box,
and you
4-1-1 straight. Yeah. Either way, that number plays some way, somehow.
You gonna win something.
You gonna get a box of Newports to bring home to your mom's out of that shit. I think that's what they were. For street niggas, I think that's what I just said.
If you look up, like, this is slow, and then if you had Google, like, hedging.
Mm-hmm. I'm mad dumb. Why did I never just Google it?
I get word, right?
Why never just Google hedge fund?
Because that's not something we think about on a daily basis.
Hedge fund gets confusing. Just Google, like, what is hedging?
Okay. What is hedging?
You know what I mean? So, and then you get kind of a clearer understanding.
So in order to even get into that, though, you got to be worth a certain amount. Like, you got to have that to show.
For this particular type of trade, yes, these private placement platforms.
Okay.
You own an oil field, that's sitting on $2 billion worth of oil. Damn. And you want to sell your oil and trade with people. You set the requirements of who you want to come buy.
But what are you trading exactly?
Well, it's commodities. So it's anything that's a commodity. So a commodity is gold, silver, rubber, salt.
Oh, shit.
Anything that's natural.
Vibranium. Shout out to the Wakandians.
Shout out to Lasagna coming back from Wakanda.
Shout out to Lasagna coming back from Wakanda. Yeah. From a 3-week hiatus. We were going to say what she was doing, though.
Oh, my God.
Stop.
I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it.
Okay, so
this always bugs people out when I start breaking it down because they like, huh, what?
This shit kind of hard.
Because I'm always hearing about trading, but I'm like, what the fuck are y'all trading? Pokemon cards, nigga?
Trading is nothing more than buying and selling on a high end. That's really trading.
Yeah.
Buying and selling.
Okay.
And trading commodities is just buying and selling, usually by the thousands of metric tons, like tons. So it's like, if I sell you some cotton and you buy it, that's trading. But when you're talking about I'm selling you 100,000 tons. or rubber.
Okay,
that
works.
Whatever. But yeah, that's commodities.
Okay.
So
you doing so now you in this game heavy.
Now I'm in this game heavy, right? Mm-hmm. So people coming to me now. I'm the go-to girl.
She got excited as
shit.
She said,
let me tell y'all.
You would be excited too if you knew that every day he was gonna make 100 bands. You know what I mean?
Bro.
So
I wouldn't go to sleep.
Nah, and I didn't. So it got to the point where I was doing, $1 million a month, sometimes $1.25 million a month.
Oh my God.
100 grand here. You times that by I would have a lot more than 10 clients. Sometimes they would be repeat clients. So some months I would do $1.5 million. Some months I would do closer to 2. Some months I would do 900. It just depended.
So my question is, right? So for what I seen in the doc, this part isn't actually illegal.
Oh, I didn't get to the illegal part.
Oh, okay. No, I'm saying, but this part, what you're saying,
this part isn't illegal.
This isn't even illegal, right?
This isn't
That's
illegal.
the part that really fucked me up.
This
It's
isn't
in my head. I'm like,
illegal.
you
But I
could
did do something illegal.
yeah. But in my head, I'm like, you could really be a middle. Like, why I never thought about no shit like that?
You know when they say kids are mad impressionable? I'm over here telling myself like, yo, the feds may not be that bad, bro.
You know what?
You mad tall, bro. You might make
you
it.
might be scary looking.
I might be good.
But-
if I
but
do
not
look, you know, niggas say do like a 1-2 scans.
You know,
I'll be,
but nah, the reason why I'm saying that is because like, yo, like when I first heard, when I was watching the doc and I'm hearing this, I'm like, oh wow, but I'm like, yo, this stuff, I'm like, damn, this is some wild shit. But when they say, yeah, but this wasn't the illegal part, I'm like, wait, this ain't illegal? It just go to show how much hustles is really out there, bro.
Bro, it's a lot. One thing that I've noticed so far is like, especially during the pandemic and learning more about money, like and making money work for you and acquiring assets and stuff like that. It's a lot of things that we look at. Taking something as simple as Bitcoin. Remember when Bitcoin first came about? What we knew Bitcoin for?
Allegedly,
And
yes.
everybody knew
Allegedly,
Bitcoin.
Everybody knew Bitcoin
Allegedly,
for,
yes.
and we kept it so secretive.
Yeah.
And you see white people just, I hate to say it like this, but you just see white people just go to the Bitcoin machine and just, I'm here.
Yeah.
You feel me? And we sit
Shit.
up in the corner store like,
You got a nigga watching the door.
try to pretend
You
you on the
feel me?
ATM, watch the door, like, bro, you feel me? And there's so much things that we put into our head that we're not trained to learn as in the African American community on how the other forms of making money and making money work for you. That when we hear about it so good, like hearing something about hedging is so good, I swear to God, it's illegal.
Yeah, that's what I'm
this shit
saying,
just
bro.
sounds
I'm like,
illegal
oh,
right
this
now,
shit
you feel
sound
me?
wild, but it wasn't.
So this is why I feel like financial literacy is like it has to be passed. I don't even want to say taught. Like this has to get really instilled in
be
us
engraved.
now.
You know what
Gotta
it
be
is though,
engraved.
honestly? It's the dinner table talks. So
Facts.
when you sitting at home, first of all, with our families, you know, it's like, yo, is something to eat in here? You go in the pot. You might sit on the couch, be watching TV. You're not really sitting around having that, you know, family dinner where there's. And unfortunately, I grew up like that with my grandparents. My grandfather had the newspaper. He would sit at the head of the table, and we would talk about everything. So that makes a big difference. So a lot of white families, they do that a lot, and that's why the vocabulary is different. Now, little Johnny might not be smarter than you at all, but his vocabulary is based on what he hears in the house. So when your parents are sitting there talking about, hey, sweetheart, how'd that stock go today? You know, so you hearing this growing up. So it becomes normal to you. That's not part of our conversations at home. So how you gonna know about it if it's not introduced to you from just, you know?
Tell the truth, shame the devil, though. And I know a lot of us could raise our hands to this. Before the pandemic, how much of the African American community was even interested in stocks?
None. I don't say none, but not a lot.
We weren't talking about this. We weren't excited about this.
Well, we were excluded from it. You know what I mean?
And
We were
financial
excluded from it.
literacy has been completely it's been removed out of our vocabulary. It's also all we know is, as far as being West Indian, the closest to financial literacy that I knew is a susu hand.
Yeah, facts.
Speaking of that, I gotta go pay my susu hand. You feel me? That's the closest to saving money that we know is a susu hand, or if you what Jamaicans say, call it partner, right?
Yeah.
You feel me? That's the closest that we know. That's all, and we don't know about making money work for us. I feel like I'd say this all the time, being West Indian. It's a blessing, but there's a lot of curses that came with it. And one of the biggest curses was my grandmother always preached to me, save your money, save your money, save your money. Save your money for what? My grandmother died doing what with your money? My grandmother taught, she went on vacation, she traveled a lot, God rest her soul. But what can you really show? You died. What do you have for us? What can you give to your family to say, this is where it's at. I put this money in this. I put this money in that. You're millionaires now.
Yeah, saving to me is like a poor mentality.
Exactly.
Because when you saving, and now you want to make a big purchase, you back to square one.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So what is the
facts.
point of saving? I always say I don't really believe in saving. I believe in making more.
It's so
You know what I
crazy
mean?
too because growing up, especially like for me, you only like growing up. I don't know about everybody else, but it's like you grow up, you go to school, you go to college, you work for somebody else. You feel me? Even the variety of methods of a current currency is very small and narrow. You know what I mean? I didn't really like the reason like why I wanted to highlight what she said was because I could not like to this day. If I would have heard anybody else say, I would have swore to God that what she was doing was illegal. Yeah. So the fact that it wasn't, that was my favorite part of the doc. It's like, I wanted to highlight that to show people like, bro, if you put your mind to it, you go out there, it's mad million ways
Well,
of
let me tell
ways
y'all
and
something.
hustles, bro.
First of all,
School us.
if you have a child and you want to take your child or your niece or your cousin or your cousin's child to the bank, right? And
Don't
add them
put your
on
cable
your
bills in your
account,
kids' names, y'all. That's not what we saying. Don't
and
start.
add them to your account as a co-signer, right? That's legal. There's no different.
I'm
going
backing out the Bentley.
and adding
Sitting there.
someone to my account. If I have $1 million in my account right now, and I say, you know what, I want to add you on my account.
I didn't even know
There's
you
no
could do
rule
that.
against that. That's not illegal. You can add anybody to your account that you want. Now, if I got $1 million in the bank and I added him to my account, and he goes to the bank and says, "Can you print me out a statement?" The statement's going to show the $1 million, right? Because you on my account, but your name is on there too. Now, if you take that paperwork and go somewhere, and somebody asks you what's your net worth, and you show them that, are you lying?
I didn't even know you can do that. Wow. I'm about to call my brother like, yo, bro. Yo, Christopher, if you're listening to this.
Are you shitting?
I didn't even know you can do that. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's joint bank accounts. You can add anybody to your bank account that you want, you know? So, I mean, at the end of the day, when you put your name on somebody else's bank account and they already have money in there, technically that money is yours as well. Yeah. Technically. So what I used to do is to protect my clients, if I added you to the bank account, they don't know you. You might try to take their money. So there's a backdoor agreement that says you're not allowed to touch that money. Your name is only on there for 30 days or 60 days.
You really had the blueprint. You had the blueprint. She like, I definitely did.
I definitely had
I don't mean to say,
I don't mean to brag, but shit.
I definitely had a little something going on. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this honestly. Coming home, you know. Well, anyway, let me finish telling y'all what happened.
Yeah, so now
I'm doing that. So now I get a client that calls me. Right now, when they would get the paperwork for me, it would take like about a week or so for me to give them, you know, get them on the account and all of that. But sometimes if there's a deal that's going to be over quick, they need that paperwork same day or next day. But legally, I can't do that. Yeah. There's no way for me to get you on the account at the bank, get everything signed, get your documents sent over. It's impossible to do it in that short time. Yeah. So they like, yo, let me slide you a little something. You know what I'm saying? And get me that paperwork today. So the only way for me to do that is to forge the numbers. That's how I got in trouble. So I could have done it the legal way. Yeah. It didn't make me a difference because I made the same money. If I did it the other way, it was for the benefit of the client because they had something to do that needed to be done right then and there. Okay. So at first I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But then I thought about it and I'm like, well, really? They're not stealing nothing. Yeah. They're not. That was my rationale.
It's like the numbers are going to change eventually anyway. I'm just doing it and beating y'all to the punch.
One thing that I'm learning about in life, if I got to play rationale with shit and start rationalizing shit like, I mean, I'm not doing it.
Word, right?
I don't need to be doing it.
That's true.
I don't need to be doing it.
That's true. Because that's how I was rationalizing it. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? I got to close my company or I get a little fine or something. That's what I was thinking because I was ignorant of the law. I ain't know. Yeah. So I get this guy the paperwork and I'm like, I need $200 for that. So he give me $200,000.
Now 200 racks?
200 racks. So now you close the deal, right?
That's here I come.
And now you close the deal and the next deal comes. And it's like, yo, I got my homeboy on the line. He need the same thing.
Oh, so now word get out, you the quick fixer.
So now it's like I got my deals that I'm doing a certain way, but then I got the other deals I'm doing another way. You know what I mean? So now my money, I will come into the office literally, and I'll look at the account and I'll be like, yo, who got 300,000 that just came in? They like, I don't know, yo, Ish, that's you? I'm like, no, yo, that might be me. Like, it was so much money. It's like, it was just coming crazy. So imagine you 24 years old at this time, and the average deal is 70, 80, 100 grand every day. I mean, it was crazy. So, you know, I had one guy who took the paperwork, went into the bank and wasn't using it for trading, tried to get a loan against it. And the bank peeped it.
They went to look in and verify
realized that it wasn't authentic, and it just started a trickle effect.
So before we get to that, so on these deals, on average, how much are you pocketing on these deals?
Oh, the deals that I did like that, 100%, because I'm not paying the person who actually the hedge fund. I'm not paying them. That's my money.
200 is going straight to you.
That 200 is going straight to me.
And how many of those you was doing a day?
It depends. Like sometimes I would do like. Probably an average, I would do 1 or 2 of those a day. Now I did the smaller deals too. That would net me like 20 grand, 30 grand, 15 grand.
And this is cash, or is it like does it go to like a?
Oh no, it can't be cash. These people lived all over the world.
So it's wired.
It's wired. Yeah. Oh, it's wired. Wired to an account.
Yeah, wired to an account.
That's what happened when you kidnap a baby in the Netflix movies. Like, yo, I need 800,000 wired to this foreign account, this offshore account.
That's what I meant by cash. So it's like it goes to an account on a card, and I can go to a store,
an ATM, and just take it out.
You damn sure not going. What? I know there's banks in like Manhattan where you could just like go pull out a bill.
So let me tell y'all what happened. One time I was like, all right, I want to pull out like, it was like, I think it was like 600 or 700 grand, right? So you can't just take that kind of money out. This is how you get caught. And this is why when you talk to people about money, if they don't understand money, sometimes they don't know what they're talking about. Because when I was in jail, a lot of people used to ask me like, so like, yo, why you ain't just take your money out? It doesn't work like that. You can't just go in the bank and give me $3 million, give me $5 million. You have to order it and you have to fill out paperwork. And it takes us several days. To narrow it
down, I heard you can, if I'm not mistaken, I heard you can't have more than $9,999 on you. No, like you can't have that on your, like if the cops pull you over and they look at you and they see you have $10,000, like if it's 10 racks, I heard they can seize it. You can't walk.
That's flights.
It's flights? Oh, flights.
Flights, but if you have a large amount of cash up and getting pulled over, they can seize it. It happens all the time. You just have to go prove how you earned it to get it back. But a lot of people can't prove it and they don't get their money back. If you look it up, there's millions and millions of dollars that are seized every day that people don't get back. So it's like they got this on lock. So the money is in the bank. You could put in an unlimited amount. If I want to go dump $2 million in my bank account right now, they're gonna accept it. But the problem is when you want to get it out. Yeah. Then that's when you get the scrutiny.
Wait, I thought you could, but I thought it was you couldn't deposit more $10,000 in an account at a time, like on a.
No, that's not
it's
true.
withdrawal.
It's withdrawal.
Think about it. People sell their house all the time. What if you make 50 grand or 100 grand? You put it in the bank.
Well, I mean, like on something like that, but I had, because I remember one time I think I had to go deposit $15,000 in the bank, and they said you better go put $9,900.
Who said that though? A friend?
I think.
Not the bank.
Yeah, what's the bank?
Yeah, the bank is not gonna. The bank is not. They're in the business of money. They're never gonna turn down receiving money. Now they're gonna give you a hard time letting it go, but they're not gonna give you a hard time.
Here's the crazy part about it. I went to the Chase on Jamaica Avenue. I had to go take $10,000 out the bank. I go to the teller, so I'm thinking it's top secret. I'm thinking I gotta go do that whole forms and shit. I said, "Yo, my man, how you doing?" He's like, "Yo, what's up?" I was like, "Yeah, I gotta make a withdrawal." I said, "The ATM can't do it." He was like, "Oh, I bet. What you got?" I said, "I gotta make." I'm talking Big Willie style. I said, "I gotta make a large withdrawal." He said, "How much?" He said, "So he like, cause I got my chains on and everything like that." He like,
and then you gotta look to like
this nigga's a kingpin.
Nigga said 10K.
I said, "Gotta withdraw 10,000." Nigga said, "Oh, I got that in my drawer, nigga. Let's go." I said,
it's gonna shit on my bread.
I thought I was going to the back. I thought I was going to the vault.
To unscrew the shit.
Unscrew. Yo, fuck that nigga on Jamaica Avenue Chase.
Nigga shitted on you.
He shitted on my whole life over by where the new Old Navy is. He shitted on my whole life. I thought he had to take me to the back. He said, "Oh no, I got that in my drawer right here."
You thought you gonna drive the boat? Nah.
Nigga ain't even put it through the money count. He said, "Here, nigga." Threw it in the rubber band.
He said, "All right, cool."
That's funny.
But yeah.
I felt like shit.
But yeah.
You know what would be funny? I would go in the bank and I would be like, I want to take out. Sometimes I would take out like 10 cash or 15 cash. So I'll fill out the withdrawal and they put the information in and I'll just see them and they wait for my account to come. Then they be like,
they look over.
They looking at me like
this you?
Yo, what? And they were like, "Can I see your ID again, please?" Yeah, because they'd be tripping, because I always tell this story. This is a story I told in prison where all the girls, some of my friends told a lot of weight. They did a lot of different things. And we'd be sitting around talking about money. So everybody was telling their little money story. So when they got to me, they was like, "What's your craziest money story?" I said, "Well, one time I went to this little ATM. You know those mini ATMs?
Like in a corner store?
Yeah, so, I was taking out some money. I think I was taking out like $20 or something because I had no cash on me.
You left the receipt in the goddamn machine.
No, the receipt comes out, and I started tripping because my balance was crazy, but the receipt was so skinny that it couldn't print my full balance. So it couldn't show 7 digits. It could only show 6.
Wow.
So that's when I knew I was balling. I said,
I was going to say, what was your moment where you felt like you was really sitting on it? That was it.
Hold on, but
that was it.
I'm sorry, we cut you off from that story. You said you went to go withdraw. How much out the?
She said $20.
No. Out the. You said like 600.
Oh, when that happened. Yeah. So I called them to set up the withdrawal. And it was like, I don't remember the amount. It was either 600 or 700 grand. And when I got there, I was in Detroit at the time, in the heart of the hood. I go in there, and she goes like this. "Oh yeah, you here for the withdrawal, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And then she picks up the bag of money and puts it just like that. So the whole bank just got quiet and looked.
I'd have been mad uncomfortable.
I was. So what I did was I said, "I'm good." She said, "What do you mean you good? You ordered this?" I said, "Well, you just told the whole bank
that I'm
you supposed to." I was waiting for her to take me in the back to counter through the money count. No, she put the money right on the counter. I said, "I'm good." She was like, what do you mean? I said, I'm good. Because I'm like a man somewhere, probably waiting in the cut.
It's Detroit.
You know what I mean?
Them niggas
So
ain't got
I
water.
didn't take the money, but I wish that I did because I got locked up like a few days after that. So I wish I did.
Everything happened. You're like, damn, I should have just fucked on comfort.
Damn it.
Okay, so now so now to add back to what you said, so you're doing these deals, you thriving. So you got a team now. It's not just you. So how did you even go about even starting a team?
Well, my team, my homeboys, they from Detroit, and they was from the hood, and I realized that when I started to build my team, I didn't want college grads, and it's corny sometimes. Like they too by the book.
Yeah.
I wanted hustlers. Real business is hustling.
Gangster.
Real business is some gangster shit. It's when they say like corporate thugging,
corporate thugging.
that's real. You know what I mean? You want people who are aggressive. You want people who are like they don't quit and they're not afraid to bend the rules. That's what I wanted at that time. And it worked in my favor because we made a lot of money together. Shout out to my bros, selling Wheezy. And unfortunately though, they went down with me. But I'm glad I chose them because when the government was like, yo, we'll let y'all off. Y'all just gotta tell us what y'all know about her. And,
Gangster,
and they was like, lock us up. We ain't got nothing to say.
nothing.
That's not really happening right now.
Absolutely
You think?
not.
So the loyalty was on a different level. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I chose wisely.
Yeah.
And I always choose like that. I'll always choose. Not saying I would do anything illegal because, I'm never going back to jail.
Yeah.
But I still like that energy. I don't like the, I don't know. No.
Gotta be
You
solid.
just and it's another thing how you spoke about not knowing certain things. Once I bring them in and I taught them, they ran that shit better than people who probably would have graduated Harvard. Because when we are educated on that stuff, we dominate everything we learn.
Absolutely.
Of
You
course.
know what I mean? So when they learned it, a lot of these clients, if they knew who they was talking to on the other end, they probably wouldn't have did the deal.
Absolutely.
Facts, that is.
You know what I mean? But they couldn't tell because education is blind. Knowledge is blind. Somebody on the phone and they know all the details. They understand the structure of the business. They have the vocabulary, the verbiage. You don't know. So, but you don't know you're talking to somebody who was just doing some crazy shit, in the corner a couple months ago.
You dig.
So,
You feel me? So now, got a question, right? So at your top of your empire, what was the most amount of money you think you probably had at one time?
probably about 11 million.
Like just in your bank account, just 11?
Yeah, probably
Like in your
about
local
11.
JP
Fix
Morgan?
your face.
11 mil? How old were you
11.
around that time?
I was 24.
So at 24, you had 11 mil in the bank.
But that was like briefly because money was constantly moving. So there was other people involved in my business who I had to pay.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
would,
but-
I had to pay this person off, this person this.
But when you caught Chase that one day, it was 11 mil.
Actually, I was dating this guy at the time, right?
How do you date being
That's
24
why-
years
that's why
old with 11 mil?
Like that shit got to be
Right.
wild complicated. You feel like, do you date within your tax bracket? Or you just fuck with it because you like them? Like how does that
No,
work?
I didn't have that tax bracket when I started talking to this person.
Oh,
This happened very fast.
This is
This
rags
happened
to-
in about 10 months. I went from that to that in about 10 months.
you went from regular to 11 mil in 10 months?
I know that nigga felt uncomfortable.
Shit, nigga lost Beyonce.
Don't be
That's how
Marky
Beyonce
Simpson.
next nigga feel right now.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, at the time, I called him. He was actually locked up. And I said, you won't believe how much money I got right now. And he was like, what? I know you probably up like at least 100, 200. And I'm like, nope. He like, more? He said like 300. I said, watch this. So I called on three-way because he had a little phone, So I called on three-way. So I was like, enter your account number. Your available balance is. And then it was like, what? He just started going crazy.
I'd have broke out
That
of
was
jail.
the-
Bro, I'd have been in the cell.
I'd have been like, yo.
I'd have been slapping CEO.
Remember that Tony Ayo video we had the hole behind the poster?
Oh my
I'd have been
gosh,
big, nigga.
son.
What?
I'd have been
I'm
slapping
out.
CEOs wilding.
Gotta let me out.
And that was just at $1 million. It was like $1 million and change. But just the fact to hear $1 million at that,
Yeah.
like it was crazy.
to
So
be-
what was your lifestyle like at that point when you...
Very simple.
Oh, you was simple with it?
Yeah,
I
because
would've
first
begged
of all,
to
it
be
came so
different.
fast. You know what I mean? So I was almost scared to spend it because I'm like, this is not even real. Like this is like, it was like unbelievable, you know. But then my lifestyle started to change, right?
Eventually.
So now, you know, well, I don't really feel like driving. Okay, well, maybe I'll get a driver. Okay, well, you know, maybe I don't feel like shopping, so maybe I'll hire a shopper. Okay, well, maybe I should, you know, I do like that jewelry. Maybe. So I started getting a little, not crazy, but I really didn't have time to because I was working all the time. All I cared about was the next deal. So I didn't really have time to go, you know, flossing and all of that.
And by that time, your rap career was just out the fucking door.
And I wasn't worried about rap at all.
About that.
Can you blame her?
I wasn't worried about rap.
The hell?
At
Get in
all.
the studio and really shit on it.
Then I got a crib, you know, out there. It was on the water, like a 4-car garage.
In Strong Island?
No, it was in Michigan, on the lake.
Oh wow, Lake Michigan.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So, what was your most extravagant purchase? Like, yo, I can't believe I actually bought that shit.
It was probably this Breitling that I had bought.
You bought a Yo, the only nigga I ever knew to have a Breitling was Hove. Dead ass.
Probably was this Breitling that I bought that was like all like just, it was just diamonds everywhere.
What was that estimated approximately?
Like estimated value was like about $150.
You bought a watch for $150.
And then I don't know what happened to it. When I got locked up, it disappeared. So I don't know.
King?
It's with Wanda's panties.
Oh, the feds got the panties in the watch.
It's
we
the
got
one-
it.
the panties
It's the
in
one,
the
the
watch.
panties in the watch.
They got
I'm
it.
dead.
Shout
They
out
got
to Wanda.
that's my sis right there.
Shout
Yeah,
out
facts.
to Wanda. They got her panties in the watch.
All right, boom. So every empire usually falls down eventually. So walk us through the beginning of like the end. So what happens now when things start to crumble?
Before you answer that, how soon did the end come?
10 months, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was really like grand opening, grand closing.
Yeah, really.
Shit.
That would
Really.
make me tight.
So basically, it was payday. I paid everybody. It was Friday. And my paydays was different. So niggas was getting
Why
checks.
you sound like HR? This hi y'all, checks is here.
Yeah, for real. Like, so, like 10 grand for you, 15 grand for you, 8 grand for you.
And this is cash? You paying these?
It depends.
Okay.
So sometimes if they wanted cash and I had it, I would get them cash. And if they wanted a check, I would cut them a check. A lot of times I cut a check. This particular time I cut a check for everybody. Now it's like, okay, I'm getting serious with this now. You know, I got to write these checks. So when it's time to do my taxes, I can write this payroll off. So everybody starts calling me. I'm in the grocery store. Everybody calling me like they trying to cash their check and they can't. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's plenty of money. So I'm like, let me call you back. I'm at the grocery store. I got like $400 worth of groceries. I swipe my card, it gets declined. So I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So I call the bank and they're like, oh, you know, bank security closed your account. And I'm like, huh? Why? Well, remember I told you about the guy that got the loan, that tried to get a loan.
Yeah.
He gave my information and said, well, look, she gave me this paperwork. I don't know. Knowing that you paid for it, though, but you throw me under the bus. Right? So now my accounts, immediately they get frozen.
Was he white?
No.
Oh, a
He's
brother
in
sold you
Michigan
out?
now, right? Off the cameras, right?
No, I don't remember exactly where he was from. But
brother?
I know
No. I
people-
said he's in Lake Michigan now.
I'm dead. He said, wink, wink.
Yeah, we won't discuss that.
Wait, a
anyway.
brother sold you out?
More than once, actually.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, another person.
Thank God Black History Month is over. I would be appalled to have this conversation in the month of February.
Niggas really do not protect black women.
No, do not.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So
now-
anyway, you know, right before this happened, I had opened an account at Chase, like a business account.
Okay.
And I kept getting kicked out of banks because when you open an account with $1,000 or $500 and it turns into $500,000 in like 2 weeks, the bank is like, huh? So the bank is suspicious and they close your account. Doesn't mean you did anything wrong, but it means that they don't understand what's happening, so they shut it down. So that happened to me like 3 times because I didn't understand how money worked. When you have a certain amount of money, you don't just bank at a regular bank.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. I wasn't expecting to make that much money that fast.
Should have went to MCU.
So
You went to Wells Fargo's.
homeboy worked at Chase. His name is Eddie Gordon. Okay.
Okay, shout outs to Eddie.
No, ain't no shout outs to him. Let me tell you why.
Fuck Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. So let me. Tell
Oh,
you.
wait, I do remember this part.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
I do remember this part.
Rat-tat-tat-tat.
Oh, man.
So he went beyond that because you know what? You don't gotta hold it down. Nobody is forcing you to hold nothing down. If you want to tell, you tell. But where I got upset with him is that he wore a wire. I met with him because he lost his job in the situation, and we sitting at the restaurant, and I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, here's some bread for you. I'm sorry you lost your job, blah, blah, blah. Trying to be a friend, not knowing he wearing a wire the whole time.
Hold on.
You know what I mean? So what if I was doing something else, and I'm like, listen, it's all good you lost your job. I'm doing that. He could have got me in a whole world of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So I just have zero respect for him. And there's a lot of other people I cut off. Like, when people know that he did that, and I used to talk to them and I see they communicate with him.
Yeah, it's a dog.
I don't deal with them
it's
either.
A dog. And they know, facts.
So to backtrack, before we shit on Eddie, I want to go back to why we was shitting on. All right, when Eddie was the good guy. Tell us, let's go back to there.
Yeah, he actually was like, I'm the branch manager. I'm in charge of investing or whatever. So if you send me your money here and I'll manage your account, you won't have to worry about your account getting closed anymore. I got you. So that's initially why I went there. But when I sent him the check to open up my account, it might have been like $500,000 or something. And he was like, yo, what the hell? We went to school together. So he was like, yo, like, what you got going on? Let me get down. I want to make some money. So that's how that went. So you asked.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Ass niggas.
You asked. And I didn't ask him to do nothing crazy. I asked him to, he said, what I got to do? I said, well, my clients call you. They're going to be people calling to verify these accounts that supposedly got hundreds of millions in it. Remember I told you I changed the paperwork. So I didn't tell him that though, because I didn't want him to know that, because if he don't know that, he can't tell it.
He can't get in trouble.
So I said, when they call, all I need you to do is say, I can't verify this information over the phone, but they're ready, willing, and able to do whatever it is that they are trying to do with you. That's it. That's the worst thing I felt that could happen is he might lose his job or something. But I could pay him 3 times his salary if that happens. No big deal. I never asked him to do anything illegal. You know what I mean? Because saying that, I can't answer that information for you over the phone. It was being very, it was discreet. It was in the gray area. So, worst case scenario, he might have got like a probation thing or something. But you went all the way. You wore a wire. And so I just got no respect. And I actually saved his life, because, the way that people fuck with me is like, yo, Ish.
He's from Strong Island, right?
He is? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the way people rock out with me is like.
He did what? It's over.
Right. So I actually was like, nah, it's not that serious. It's okay. But, if I would have had a different attitude, it could have been a way bigger problem. I
hope you're listening, Eddie.
And let me just clarify y'all this with this Long Island stuff. I've been in the feds 10 years, and I'm going to tell you the biggest rats. It's from the boroughs, okay?
Never.
Never. I will never argue that. Harlem niggas are definitely rats.
All right, fuck it.
What?
Watch your fucking mouth.
Harlem niggas are definitely the rats. You want to know what's crazy?
I give you that.
You know what's
Shout out to
crazy?
Fric
Because
Lucas.
a Long Island nigga... Yeah, he is from Long Island. A Long Island nigga is the person who didn't snitch on me for that shit. He didn't snitch on me, so
I'm just telling you.
It was a Long Island nigga who
You know
did
what
not
I'm
snitch.
saying?
Well, you talking about the girls.
No,
No, it was a nigga.
Let me tell you something. The girls in there, do you know how many girls held it down and they baby fathers, they homeboys told on them? The dudes are the biggest
snitching
rats.
on the women?
Yeah.
Niggas. Yo, we really not protecting black women. Yo, officer, it
I'm
was...
gonna hold the baby down, I swear to God.
Listen, officer, it was lasagna.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was serious. A lot of people speak on it now. It's a big problem. You know what I mean? Mass incarceration with women. Women hold it down. There's women who snitch too. Yeah. But the level that the men do it is shocking. It's crazy.
So Eddie snitches on you now. Well, Eddie's wearing the wire. So what happens after that?
No. How did they get to Eddie? This is where
Okay, so how they got to Eddie is because when I was paying Eddie, I would put cash in his bank account. So no way that anybody knew it was from me. But there was a teller one day who I said, I want to withdraw money from my account and I want to put money in Eddie's. And the teller said, well, why don't you just transfer? But I didn't want that connection. So I said, no, I don't want to transfer. Give me the money and then make the deposit. So when they give me my money, it's short. So I'm like, where's the rest of my money? Oh, I don't think you understood, ma'am. I just transferred it. I'm like,
this fucking
so that created a paper trail between me and Eddie.
Oh my God.
So
it's the teller who started
dumbass
this.
teller. Like nobody's asking you to
follow instructions.
Nobody's asking you to think.
So I want to pick the scenario now. So we got the guy who gave your name up on the phone with the officer who said, yeah, I got the paperwork from her. And then you got the teller who's working for Eddie. Now, were they already on your tail from the guy who gave your name
All
up,
of this
or
was,
from
I had
Eddie?
started being investigated, so this was happening simultaneously.
Oh, this happened 1, 2, 3. So this happened and they got on you.
It happened with the guy first at the bank.
Okay, so
and then it went to, now they watching me, so now they seeing where my money's going. Now they see my money goes to somebody who works at the bank.
Yeah, that's mad sus. Oh, wow. Yo, son, wrong place, wrong time.
bro.
So now they press Eddie.
They press Eddie. So make a long story short, I find out there's an arrest warrant for me. I turn myself in, but it's not just me, it's my entire team.
So y'all all go and turn yourselves
All go
in?
and turn ourselves in. So they let everybody out on bond, and they came to me. It was a Secret Service.
Wait, the Secret Service is who's out for you? Mm-hmm. Bro, ain't them the niggas who protect the president?
And they also protect the financial integrity of the United States. So anybody who, like Shawana, it was a Secret Service for her too.
Wow.
So yeah,
I ain't gonna
fraud
lie.
cases and
If a
things like
nigga
that.
come up to me and tell me in the Secret Service, I'm gonna just shit myself. I'm like, you
I
know
knew
what, bro? Just
we
take
knew a guy
me.
who was in the Secret Service. Well,
We?
No, not we. Excuse
Oh.
me. Excuse me.
I don't know nobody in the Secret
One of my
Service.
teachers, his neighbor was a guy in the Secret Service. He was telling like the protocol for like
He
when the
not even
president
supposed
goes.
to know that.
They've been living together for forever.
He not real Secret Service. He not real
Anyway.
right.
Go ahead.
He not real right.
So now
So
they
anyway, yeah. So now I'm in, and I never got out.
shit.
Wow, that's how it. So yeah, I got it.
Oh,
That
so
I
wait,
never
when you
got
turned
out.
yourself in,
That was the
it.
beginning.
And that was it.
No released on bond. No
Nothing. Bail. Nothing.
No, I mean I got released temporarily because I was in Michigan,
Yeah,
but
that's-
my case was in New York. So I had a arraignment in New York a couple days later, and they kept me.
And how long was your bid?
I was sentenced to 10.5 years.
So when the judge smacks the gavel, he says 10 and a
He
half.
says 126 months, and I had to do the math real quick.
Yo,
I'm like,
that ass.
wait,
You know
what?
when niggas like, yeah, my son is 20
I'm
months.
like,
I'm
but
like,
fuck you. How many years?
like, yo, like, Judge, what is that?
Wait.
126 months is dead ass like 10 years and a half.
Yeah,
That is crazy,
It
son.
is. Yeah. So it was a long time. That's actually one.
I'm weak. I'm weak. Hey,
So
wanna.
it was a long time. Like I was sitting there and I'm like, 126 months. I'm like, he said, yes, 10.5 years. He seen me doing the math.
Yeah.
Like, you
Oh,
have
he
a
a
problem?
bitch ass nigga for that.
10.5. So they said, what went through your? What did your lawyer say? Now I want to get into the backdrop of this. What did your lawyer say when you got the case? You feel me? I'm pretty. Did you have access to the money to hire a great lawyer?
Yeah, I did. So let me tell y'all what I did, right?
All right, good.
So right when I was in the grocery store that day, then they seized my money.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have any money except for the money I had cash on me in the crib. I might have had like maybe 30 grand. That was it. Now that's no money compared to what I had. It was like I was broke. So I went to my grandparents. My grandparents had a retirement fund. I said, yo, listen, I went to my grandfather. I said, give me 50 grand. He said, what for? I said, give me 50 grand. I give you back 100, a couple weeks. He was like, all right. So he pulled it out as a retirement, his savings. Because, he'd been a fireman and my grandmother was a teacher. And, they had a 401k, whatever. So he gave me the 50 grand. They know I was good for it. Like, if anybody is good for it, it's me. So they give me the 50 grand. So now I got like maybe 80, right? If that. No, it might have been like 70.
So you're trying to flip it now.
So now I sent a team to Africa, to Sierra Leone. And I had them go and actually
Buying diamonds?
They bought diamonds?
buying gold.
You
we
dead
buying
ass?
Gold, yes.
You was.
So he's buying gold dust. And we flip the gold dust. So the gold dust, how it works is there's a fluid that you pour on the gold dust. Now, mind you, it's called alluvial gold mining. You ever see on shows on Discovery?
The bricks?
Discovery? No, it's like alluvial gold mining. It's like a little pan.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it
Yeah.
sips like that.
Yeah. I definitely seen
And
that.
it separates the dirt from the gold nuggets, right? So the people of the village are doing that, and then they bring it, they stand on the line and they weigh it. So people are there to buy it. So my crew was there to buy it. And what you do is it's a fluid, you pour it on the gold, and whatever color it turns, right, temporarily, is the carats. So you know how to price it. So at that time, 1 kilo was going for like 12, 13,000, something like that. So you talking about flipping it for 23, 24,000.
You doubling it, damn
So you
near.
doubling it. So what happens is you buy the keys, they send the gold back, we sell it, send the money back, buy again, keep doing that.
Who the fuck thinks of that? I was never thinking of that. That's what you was dead ass doing?
That's what I was doing.
Nah, that shit's got me
So
tight.
now,
I need to go home and write some shit down.
So now, the feds, they tight. because they had seized the money. I didn't get arrested right away. When they seized the money, it was a long gap between my arrest and them seizing the money. So I thought there was a chance I might not get locked up. Like maybe they seized the money, maybe it's a civil suit, maybe to go away. But when he came and got me, he took me off the U.S. Marshals bus. The Secret Service took me off the U.S. Marshals bus, put me in the back of a van that the Secret Service was driving. Mind you, they pulled over the U.S. Marshals bus. Like, who pulls over the U.S. Marshals? Pulls them over, comes on there and says, you have someone named Aisha Hall transporting? So I'm like, the hell? So they take me off the bus.
Everybody looking at you like,
yeah.
So niggas is on the bus like, yo, ma, you a terrorist? Like, they saying crazy shit.
yo, son, niggas can't take nothing serious, son.
Yo, so I get off them and then he's like, yeah, you ain't the boss lady no more. This is what the agent is saying to me. I'll never forget it. And I'm just looking at him like, he's like, you just had to send people to Africa and do all of that, right? Because they wanted me to just, I guess, be defeated. Maybe if I had been defeated and Wayne got a 9 to 5 and just accepted that I'm not supposed to be wealthy, then they wouldn't have fucked with me. But because they seen like, we done took all this bitch money.
Yeah, she went and got it.
And now she done went and did this and she flipping and she making M's again? Like, no, we can't. So, basically that's why they let me know that they went and made the case from civil to criminal.
Shout out to you for having $2 million plans that worked. Yo, what the fuck? I'm trying to get one.
You know what niggas say?
Yo, son.
I want to give my shorty some money and I need you to flip it. Ladies, this is what the fuck we mean. I don't need you to start a fucking eyelash line. I don't want you to start lip gloss. I want you to get kilos of fucking gold.
Please.
Fuck you and your lace fronts. I want gold. This is what, when I give you startup money and I say flip this, babe, this is what I
Don't
need.
complain about the LLC being 150.
This is what I want. Fuck your LLC.
Wow.
But continue.
So they said, okay, so wow, that's crazy. So
yeah, it's a crazy story. It's crazy.
They didn't want to see you win.
They just didn't want to see me win, So now I go into the courtroom, obviously I go through court. I'm arrested.
Wait, before how long was that operation going for, the gold mine thing? How long was you doing that for?
Like maybe 2-3 months. That's it.
And this is outside of that 10-month span?
This is after the
Yeah, this is after
Okay,
that.
so this is after. I'm trying to keep a timeline on everything.
This is
So
after that.
Approximately, how much would you say you probably made off the gold mine joint?
Probably like a M,
In 3 months?
but less than that.
Yo, bro, what are we not doing?
I'm fucking the wrong women. This is what I'm not doing.
Clearly.
Sorry, baby. I love you.
You made an M in 2 months off the gold mine scheme. Wow, son.
All right, so that's 2-3 months. So you get the bread, you make about an M. You pay your grandparent $100K, so you had $900,000. You go get a lawyer.
No.
Shit.
So the money's sitting in the bank, and they freeze that account.
Still fucking with the banks?
This is why niggas don't be
there's no
fucking
way
with
to get
banks,
money.
bro.
How you gonna get money from Africa to the United States? How?
Wire it.
There's no other way. They got that locked down. You cannot get on a plane with that kind of money.
You didn't have anybody else to shit, you
It's
get
impossible. Where they come? How?
No,
am I
so
gonna
like,
take a boat?
another account. I mean, like somebody with another account that
This
you
was a
trust.
new account, but they watching everything I'm doing. They, this
No, he was saying
this is what
he said you could have put like in your mother name or something like that, so it's not like to
I won't
you.
even say your mother. Like, just go find a.
You could use my account.
there was
You can still
who
use
do
it if you want.
trust? Who do you trust?
Yo,
There's a guy who I did put money in, and they stole a lot of my money. So who you giving? But somebody knows that you doing something and you being watched. It's like, who you gonna tell?
He was from Flatbush.
Even though he was definitely he's from Harlem actually.
you see, you can't trust them uptown niggas.
But anyway, so this is what you up against. That's too much money. I'm not giving nobody that money because then I'm about to kill somebody. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not giving nobody that kind of money. So when that happened, here they come. Now I'm in there, and I'm still in denial because I'm like, I ain't do nothing that serious. That's how I'm looking at it. But the thing was, I didn't do anything that serious. The thing that got me that time was the money. See, the guidelines in federal prison are weighted, just like a drug case is weighted by how many drugs you have. A white collar case is weighted by how much money.
Tax brackets.
Right. So if I had done the same thing and made very little money, I would have got like 6 months of probation. But because of the amount, it goes by like, okay, 10,000 to this amount is 1 year,
okay.
this amount like that. So when you get up, I fell into this between 6 to 10 million. So when you fall in that category, your points is going up.
You think?
You know what I mean?
Fucking gulag.
Wow, son.
So now, we backtrack. They before you sentence that. I want to know, what did your lawyers? Wait, did you got a chance to get a lawyer?
So I got not just a lawyer for me. I had the team.
Okay.
I had the
You got
dream
your whole
team.
squad of
My
lawyers?
whole squad. I got everybody a lawyer.
You got them lawyers?
I got them lawyers.
So when y'all turn yourself and y'all turning yourselves with y'all lawyers?
Yes. So before
That got to
we
be the
turned-
most gangster turning I
before
ever
we-
seen.
It was. So I pull up to the spot. I called my lawyer and I said, "Yo, you got friends?"
You know what niggas call chicks? Yo, you got
This is
friends?
a whole different type of you got any friends?
Free crib, you got friends?
So I'm like, okay. So I go to the bank, and I had a couple dollars, for my gold stuff. Now I pull out that money, and I try to pull out all my money as much as I could. But while I'm pulling out the money, I see one of the managers in the background like this, like, oh yeah, like I guess they call, like, is she there? Because they trying to lock down all my money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hurry up.
Yeah.
So they give me, I said, I need 5 cashier's checks, So it's like, get there, and it's like 30 bands for you, 30 bands for you, 40 bands for you, 50 bands for you. Like, I'm giving all the lawyers their money. My team, that's the thing that's why I say, I call myself a boss confidently because I take care of my team. You know what I mean? Everybody running around with this title, and it's like, I made sure my team was right before I was right. My lawyer got paid last. My team, their attorneys got paid first. The only problem was, I almost got in trouble for that because it's a conflict of interest.
I was just about to say,
because
it's
what
conflict
happens
of
is, like, if I'm paying for your lawyer, how you gonna snitch on me?
Oh,
So let's
yo.
say that they would have tried to. Let's say one of my employees, which are my brothers, say they wasn't like that and they was ready to flip. How you gonna flip when the person you're supposed to flip on is
Paying
paying
for
your
your
lawyer?
shit.
So that was a conflict of interest, but they had no interest in flipping. So fortunately, it wasn't that big of a deal, but it could have been, But at the end of the day, I wasn't doing that because of that. I was doing that because I wanted to protect them.
Yeah,
you know what I
facts.
mean? So, and to this day, we still like this. After all that, they did time, all of that, and we still like this,
As you should.
So yeah, that's what happened. I go in, I get sentenced, I do my time. While I'm in there, I meet Shawana. Shout out to Shawana. We become best friends. I also met my other close friend, Gia the house goddess. Y'all would probably love to interview her too. She's dope.
Ass up there too. I need to-
Sound like trouble.
I'm over here putting my
she's the bomb.
shit together like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this.
Yo, bro, I'm about to sell gold.
I got a dream team.
Well, the new gold is Bitcoin. I mean, I don't really deal with gold is physical commodities are getting played out. Everything is becoming digital now. So,
For when you did your crime, has the rules and guidelines changed as far as the
I
laws?
really don't know.
Oh, you don't even know?
No, I have not even inquired. People hit me up asking me about that. I just think it's the feds. I don't even answer them.
Nah.
I'm like, nah, I don't know. I can't help you. I just haven't indulged. One thing about, let me tell you, I'm going to give y'all some real $1 million advice.
I need
Man,
this.
please.
Because you literally got it.
You literally.
There is a formula, right? That, you can apply to any business, whether it's gold, whether it's the oil thing I was doing, whether it's lashes, it's all about quantity. Because you see Kylie, she's a billionaire, right? And it's off of lip gloss or something. It's not about what you're selling. It's how much of it that you're selling. So if you see something that's being sold on a large scale, get in there where you fit in. Become a broker. You know what I mean? Everything you see has to be bought and sold. All this wood in here, somebody's manufacturing it, somebody's selling it. Whatever material this is, somebody's manufacturing it, somebody's selling it. If they selling it a certain amount per pound or per kilo or per ton or whatever, you find the buyer and then you find the seller. And whatever the price is, you add a little point to it so that when they make that transaction, you in the middle. That's the fastest way to become a millionaire. It's the fastest way, and a lot of people think like that's so hard. It's not really so hard. In China, they sell everything. They sell everything. And there's people in the United States who buy everything. Form a corporation, and you're the broker.
Be the middleman.
My man's been telling me about that. Shout out to Tone. He's been telling me about that since 2010. He will always tell me, I need to go over to China. I need to go over to Japan. I got to go to where they manufacturing shit, where they're getting this. Or I got to go to, as far as like with fashion, he'll say, I got to go to Italy and stuff like that. I need to make a connect out there as far as getting like, as far as I guess wholesaling it. You feel me? Getting it at a larger quantity, larger quantity and flipping it back over here.
Yeah.
He said, you worrying about all the small shit over here, nickel and diamond over here. Nigga, go to where they getting it. And then bring that shit over here. Develop that.
clientele.
That's the type of trade.
Because what people don't understand too is like if you talking about a pair of J's, they gonna sell J's for like what, $1.60. The Foot Locker probably only paying maybe $7 to get them. Now, if you get them from where Foot Locker get them, you send them from 120. Shit, niggas want to pay 120 instead of 160. So now all that shit is everybody coming to you now.
No, that's true.
Everybody
and
coming
the
to you
other
now.
jewel is problem solve. Whatever you suck your teeth about, whatever you get frustrated about, think about, I would rather do this than do this. You know what I mean? So like, for example, if you're sitting in traffic and it's like, what would you be able to do? What would you want to do right now to get out of that traffic? You know, like, that's how you make your money, by problem solving. And then you create a platform around solving that problem that plagues everybody. So for example, right now I have an app that I developed. It's in process right now. And it's called QuadraScore. And I'm like, what's the problem? People pay rent, right? But there's nowhere where rent is documented, right? Everything is a credit report with your credit cards or collection accounts, whatever, but you could pay rent for 20 years and there's nowhere that you can see like somebody pay rent. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna solve that problem. I'm not gonna go all into the details of what I did because it's not out yet, but I solved the problem that's gonna probably make me a billionaire. I'm like, fuck millions. I'm over millions now. Now I wanna go to the B's. You know what I mean? Because
Can we get to the M's first?
I'm trying to get to the K's.
I'm trying to get to the O's.
free jewels on how to do it. If I wasn't on paper and so restricted, I would already have done it. You know what I mean? But I'm limited because of my probation.
Okay.
So can you tell how long you're on probation for? Or?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm on probation. My original probation was 3 years, and it was almost up. But then I got violated, so now I got extended another 2 years.
Shit.
So,
Damn, son.
And I got violated not for doing anything like illegal, but for associating with a felon, traveling without permission. That kind of
She said, cough, cough, allegedly travel without permission.
Yeah.
Caught you with the Shawana Miami picture.
Caught you with Shawana Miami. It's like, that picture was definitely on Ralph Avenue.
Right.
Okay, so
anyway, when I got to prison, I started writing books. So I've written 13 books, published those. And then I started getting back into my music. Okay. You know, because I had all that time to sit. So I just sat there and wrote like 40 songs, something crazy like that. So I wrote my music. Then I came home. I started recording. Shout out to Fred the Godson. He was actually the first one.
R.I.P. Fred the Godson.
Yes, that was my bro. And I just been going mad hard, telling my story, packaging it up like is my platform. This is what I've been through. This is what I've done. I'm authentic. I was away when social media became a thing.
When did you go in again?
08.
When did you get out?
07. I mean, 17.
Yo, it was really a different world when you got out, son.
Completely.
Yo, Ricky Blaze was lit in 08.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, MySpace was out.
Yeah, MySpace was out.
You the real Bobby Shmurda using HDR filters on your pictures. 08 to 7. Yo, that's a different world, son.
It was a different.
Was the Barclays out in 08?
No.
So you didn't even see the Barclays
all this
sign
is
up.
new. All this stuff was new. Like,
wow, son.
So going to your books, because I feel like right now you got a lot of information to give. What are your books about? Like, can they, everything that all the gems that you shared just now on this episode, can they go and read that in your books, or is it more so personal?
Those are like urban books.
Oh, the urban books.
Okay.
Have you thought about writing a book? Not about like what you've done or any urban books, or like the just like the basic formats to applying what you learned, I guess, illegally,
how to get rich,
how to do it legally in different formats of life. Like you said, something like selling eyelashes or selling weave or something like that. Because I feel like if you haven't done it already, I feel like I'm going to actually have to go take this episode and sit back and replay a lot of the things that you said and try to formulate and figure out how I'm going to make myself a millionaire. So if you haven't already, I feel like that'd be a dope book idea for like how to just... what we may look at as a small nickel and dime that we can take and make it into an enterprise, that we can make it into, it can make you a millionaire. Because a lot of us think so small-minded and we don't look at the bigger picture. We just look at it for the surroundings that we have.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge. You gotta accept it as your reality first, that I can be wealthy.
Yeah.
I am wealthy. A lot of people got this broke mentality. Like me coming home and seeing social media. First of all, I was really rich. Not for fake rich, really rich, right? So I see wealth a certain way. So when I came home and see social media, I was excited. Like, wow, the world is doing amazing.
You just see mad bread.
Everybody's rich. This is great.
You would have thought.
But this is what I'm saying. Yeah. So it created an illusion, and people don't want to put in the work and put in the thought processing to create stuff because social media makes it look like it's 1, 2, 3. I don't wear like a lot of name brand or whatever, because once you get to a level, I'm the brand. I'm not sitting here I do like Balenciaga because they have black models. I do exactly wear Yeezys because he black. You know what I mean? But when after being in the prison system and knowing how, a lot of these companies are run by in places that came from the people that oppressed us. Why am I making these people so rich? I don't wear Gucci, at all. I don't wear Prada. They had that blackface thing on. I take that shit very serious. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you're really a boss, you can't become a boss by saying I'm the boss, but I'm under these people, and that's what's gonna make me look like the boss. I'm the boss. I could wear a t-shirt and some cheap ass Walmart jeans. I'm still the boss. Walking in the room being the flyest dress means absolutely nothing. I want to walk in the room and be like, God damn, that bitch got too much money to count. I don't care about the look, and that's kind of where we get it confused, is the look. The look don't mean shit. Yeah.
You want to know what's crazy though? Now, I understand, you're definitely right. You're definitely right on that point, but I feel like with this generation, how we flip that with this generation is, if you look like money, you're gonna, in a sense, you attract money. So people have turned, like, what do you call it? Influencing, like social media influencing. You look at it as, he has $10 in his bank account, but he has on a $100,000 outfit. Those people over there don't know that he only has $10 in his bank account, but he looks like he has money.
I got 7, bitch.
I'm so sorry, King. So it looks like he got money. So now I want to get into business with you. How do you afford to live this lifestyle? You don't need to know about that. But give me more. Give me more of what you got. How do I get more of what you got? You feel me? So it's the power, the law of attraction, I guess. The power of attraction.
No, that's a very good point. That's a good point. But you got to have something to back it up. Now, if I come to you because of the look and I want to do business with you and you don't know shit, it's a waste of time.
False profits.
But to be honest, think about it. How much people really don't need you? Right about now, I'm not even, and I'm speaking for people who I know who actually got it off of this. It's really, with a lot of these things, you really just have to play the part and look. You just have to play a part and look an image, and it attracts you. You don't gotta know shit about shit. You could be dumb as fuck, but as long as you can influence somebody into doing it, and it doesn't work for everybody. What I'm saying right now is, it's not a sure shot proof. But there's a lot of people who slip through the cracks of not knowing a fucking thing and probably learning as they go along, but because they look like they got it.
There's some truth to that.
Look.
So
I want to do business with you.
But you spend too much time trying to have the look than trying to actually create the platform that generates the money. So because you don't want to have the look once.
We don't want to
be able to continue.
We become comfortable with not being the boss, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be a boss with that mindset. You're not going to, unless you take what you're receiving and flipping it into going on into different ventures. But you'll never be the boss that she's proclaiming. You feel me? That she's saying that she likes to be. You'll never be that boss.
You know what it is?
Just fitting that image.
People don't actually want to be bosses though. Like, if you think about what she said,
I want to look like it.
But it's just a fucking look. You feel me? Like, people, like, looks go only go but so far. Like, what she said was some shit that I always say to myself all the time. Like, I might not be at the top of a pyramid, but it's like, yo, no funny shit. I can't sit here and say, yo, I'm doing good if you not eating, if you not eating, if she's not eating, or if he's not eating. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna be a boss for real, you gotta make sure the people that are around you are really 100% good. I can't sit here and look like I'm lit. You feel me? But yo, my mom's ain't really probably living right, or my niece ain't living right. A lot of people just are like, you talking about they want to look good to a like I guess the law of attraction. They don't even want to attract that. You know what I'm saying? They just want that look. You know, like, they don't really care. It don't really matter if you're not living that life. It's just the fucking look. You feel me?
Bro, you gotta understand.
It's just the look.
Some people only care for the look,
and that's not being a boss. Some people don't
even. That's what I just.
I'm agreeing with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people, they don't even want. They don't want that work. It's just the effort because of what comes. Think about it. When you really sit down and think about it, money is nothing. You don't like money. People think they like money. You think they love money. You like what you can do with money. So think about it. So. If you're in the credit card game, right? You're on the Hums game. You're not on debit. You're on the Hums game. Everything that you can do, everything that you may need, you can do with the Hums. You can swipe for it. How important is having cash to you? If I can swipe everything that I need, how important is cash to me?
But cash is guaranteed, though.
But
it's not going to be important to you. It's not going to be important to you.
It won't be important to you.
But
you feel me?
It's not important to you, but you're accumulating things that you can exchange for cash, hopefully.
Absolutely.
That's the point.
Some people don't even.
Some people don't even do that.
That's what I'm saying.
I knew a nigga that was on. I knew a nigga that was on the work. I knew a nigga who was doing what he was doing, right? And no funny shit, they used to pay him in clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of saying, yo, here's the money, like, yo, here's a pair of Balmain jeans. Do you? And that's not for him to flip. That's just for him to wear.
That was the
he didn't give a fuck. You feel me?
But
like I said,
how you gonna eat? How you gonna pay
he
your
didn't.
bills?
He wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It really just like people be obsessed with the fucking looks.
What you thinking? You're not even thinking.
I hope you're not listening to this.
I can't eat. So you looked at it like this: how you gonna eat? How you gonna pay your bills or whatever? Mm-hmm. I got on these Balmains. Mm-hmm. I go to a spot. I look important. You're gonna eat for free. Who is this guy?
A female, maybe.
No.
That don't happen often, bro. That don't happen often.
Bro, if I go to the club and I go in the section, what am I doing? And I just blend in.
But that's different though. You feel me? Clubs, that's based on clout.
I just blend in.
You feel me? Like you're not.
But maybe at one time. But it's so many people that look like that now. To me, it's like
it's regular.
Everybody, it's regular.
Yeah. Like
you know what I
money
mean?
is so accessible now. It's not like the value of money has dropped dramatically because it's so accessible based off of all these hustles.
If you got HBO Max, go watch this documentary that they did. I forgot. It's called The Social
Experiment.
I think that's what it's called.
The Social Dilemma.
No, not Social Dilemma. That's on
Netflix.
Experiment?
That's on. I think it's a social experiment where they take like 4 people and they want to become Instagram influencers, and they literally show you how they lie and start from the bottom, and they just start the rise. Like I'm talking about as far as fake followers, stuff like that. The fake followers turn into real followers. The fake clout turns into real clout. Fake just posting up brands. Now they're getting real brands. They're getting real endorsements. They're getting real things. You're getting all the things. You see, it's all about what's important to you. You feel me?
My key word. Yeah.
It's all about what's important to you because if I need cash to go buy clothes, but these people like the way I dress, so they're giving me clothes. What the fuck do I care about cash for? If I like eating at elite restaurants, I need money to go buy at these elite restaurants. But I'm promoting that I'm always at elite restaurants, so elite restaurants always want me there. So I'm always eating free. So what do I care about that?
Right. So it depends on what your goal is.
It's all about what your goal is.
I'm talking about in a higher echelon of goals. So to me, it's like the people that sell the clothes, the people that sell the look. You know, that's the level I'm speaking of. The people that are consumers. Now you have your bosses, right, and you have your consumers, right, that buy whatever the bosses are selling. You have your bosses and you have your workers, the people who will take pennies on a dollar from billion-dollar enterprises, and they're okay with that. You have to just basically choose what you're okay with. No answer is wrong. It's just about what level you're on. Me, I'm not okay with working at, say, McDonald's, a billion-dollar company, and I make a couple of pennies, but I'm playing an intricate role in the company.
You are the role in the company. Without me, there is no company.
So the people who buy these clothes are the workers at the McDonald's, you know, because they are the people that are supporting these brands that are multi-billion-dollar brands, and all you're doing with nothing in return but maybe to boost your ego or to feel good is to buy their product. But what they're doing is they're sitting back, probably not even wearing their own product, stuff that costs cents on a dollar to make.
You ever see Chinese people eat Chinese food?
No. Nah. You know what somebody told me one time, and to this day I remember that. I had I think I might have bought a girl something, like one of my girlfriends something back in the day, and I was doing what I was doing around, but he was like, yo, like that bag you got is like 80 hours worth of your time, like in that bag, like pay wise, like you got you got a whole week worth of pay, like in that one bag. And I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a lot. So now, like when I be looking at shit, I be looking at it in terms of value, but also like my value. Like, then do I really want to spend like 2 weeks worth of pay on this at this moment?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? And then like that just should kind of make you just look at shit different. So like I'm gonna be honest with you, what you said really, really, really made me feel like shit. I'm sitting here, bro. I'm thinking I'm doing so much in reference to like ideas and shit. I'm like, yo, you had $2 million hustles in like less than a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit. Now, for real, I got to get in my bag.
On some real shit, let me tell you something. Right now, my grandfather, who's my everything, he's the one that gave me that money. He's very sick with cancer, right? But me coming home and starting over, I don't have it like I used to have it. And his insurance is limited. And so for people that say cash isn't king, if I had what I had then right now, he would be healthy. Because there would be certain things like medications that you could buy. I mean, the medication that he's on right now, I think it was like 25 or 30,000. That took weeks and weeks and weeks for the insurance company to approve. If I was doing what I was doing before, I'd have just paid the 30 bands. Yeah. You know what I mean? He had round the clock care. Nurses 24 hours a day, switching shifts every 8 hours. Money is everything. So the stuff that we're talking about doesn't really matter when it comes to real life. The wealth matters because when it comes to what really taking care of your children, like being able to feed, house, clothe, your health, you need cash. Yeah. So all the other stuff, I can't walk in the room with some Balenciagas and a Louis bag and be like, "You all right?" It doesn't mean absolutely anything.
I look good. It's a valid.
You know what I mean? So wealth is important, and that's where our people fall short. We're not understanding the value of really having real wealth, not the look, because. You know, a song could change the value of something. I remember everybody was wearing Coach. And then
Coach was lit.
Somebody made a song, it was Cam, about a Coach bag, something. And Coach went out.
Get rid of that Coach bag.
What if you spend a whole bunch of money on something and then somebody devalidates it? Now what? You know what I mean? Like you got to be your own brand. You got to be your own wealth source. You know, and that's what I'm out here like preaching about. When I go and talk to these kids and all of that, I have a book out called Larry the Lending Lion. It's a children's book. And it rhymes, but it teaches kids about credit, about banking, about finance, about lending.
Yeah, facts. Only shit I can understand.
Yeah. Us as people, to sum it all up, we just got to learn to start thinking really out. Fuck thinking outside the box. You got to realize there is no box.
Right.
We got to stop limiting ourselves and start putting ourselves.
And stop snitching too.
Eddie, stop snitching.
That ain't never.
You ain't the only one. Like it's a culture now. Like
Oh, you have no idea. Boy, there's niggas who got books on snitching. I ain't gonna say no names, but
you feel me? That's a whole.
It's a problem because now they sit back and they laugh and they pitting us against each other.
But I got a question for you. If we're gonna take it there,
please, I love it.
Eddie's a 9-to-5 guy, right?
Oh God, here we go.
He's not a street guy at all, right?
Right.
Wait, is he? Was he?
9-to-5. He worked at the bank.
I'm saying, but would you say he's like a hood nigga or a street nigga, or he's okay?
Regular.
Square bear, right? Is he a snitch?
Yes.
Or is he a law-abiding citizen?
He's a snitch because he should have never agreed to do the shit anyway. Once you agree to do something, if I had tricked him or swindled him, that's different.
Dickhead.
But even the police don't snitch on each other. They got the blue code. Nobody snitching. It doesn't matter if you're from the street or not. Telling on people to keep yourself from getting in trouble because you got caught is wrong.
What were they? But I thought he didn't know I thought he didn't know it.
She put him on.
I was paying him under the table. He knew that.
So him taking money under the table was...
You know what's up.
That was foul already. Okay.
Right. And I told him to answer I told him I gave him stuff in the gray. You know what I mean? So
keep him safe.
That's why I said if you're going to tell on that, that's fine.
You kind of kept him safe. He didn't even have to do that because he didn't really know shit.
No, he didn't know shit. But he wore a wire, so he could have put me in a worse position. That's what I got most upset about. If me and you do something and I'm like, yo, I'm going to sell you this illegal phone, boom, and I sell it to you, and then you get caught with the illegal phone and you say, I got it from her. It's only so much I can say. You know, if you want to bitch out on that, that's cool. But now if you be like, they're like, go try to get some more illegal phones from her on a wire. And that's going to another level. That's how the shit gets.
That is snitching. All right, Eddie, you are. Because that's my biggest thing with this generation, you feel me? Because a lot of people, first thing that I say is we throw that snitch word around a lot without any proof. And I'm not speaking in this case. I'm talking about it in real life. People throw that word out.
That's why I included it in the show. If you've seen the show, I included the paperwork.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because that's a very messed up status to give to somebody without proof. You know?
Bro, there's a guy in D.C. Long story short, the cops were trying to say he was a snitch. He went into because back in the 90s, being labeled a snitch, 80s and 90s, being a labeled snitch was so crazy. He went into the police, into the, what do they call it? The police precinct and shot them up with a Mac 11, killed about 3 officers. They ended up shooting him, but because they were going to label him a snitch, and that is such a demeaning term. Back in those days, nowadays anybody's a snitch now. If you just suspect anything, niggas don't even think you got a good lawyer anymore. You came home too soon, you're fucking told.
I've been guilty of that.
You feel me?
I'd have said that about a couple niggas.
You came home too soon.
Fuck you got home so
fast.
We all
do that. We all do that. You feel me? But I know I damn sure do. I don't stamp nobody. That's a very serious accusation to stamp on somebody. And the second thing with that I was saying with snitching is a lot of people are confusing people who are removed from the streets. They have nothing to do with their 9-to-5. They're straight up. They're straight arrows. And then if they speak on something that they know, if they're approached with a question, they may not even have any involvement in it.
But that's what I'm saying, and it doesn't count. You can't snitch on something you don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's why that whole idea, I throw it out the window.
Fuck him, Eddie.
No, not just him, in general. If the person next to me, right, witnesses something, right, that they don't know nothing. So the police come to them and say, what did you see what this person was doing? All they can speak on is what they might have seen at that moment. They can't get deep into the case because they're not part of it. Only people that's snitching, only time somebody is really labeled a snitch is if they were involved in something that was illegal.
And they throwing you under the
now,
bus to protect
now,
themselves.
street people aren't only people that's involved in illegal stuff. I know a whole lot of scammers. They never been in the street. They scamming. That's white collar.
Yeah, that's white collar.
That mean they can't be a snitch because they wasn't selling drugs. Anytime you participate in something that's illegal and you get approached because you're going to get in trouble, and to save yourself from getting in trouble or to lessen the level of trouble you get in, you telling somebody else you're a fucking snitch.
Oh, no, I agree with that. What I'm
saying
is people are taking, like you just said, that same scenario. I'm an old lady on the train. I see him get robbed. The cops come to me, say, where did the guy go? He went that way. Is that, you consider that snitching?
No, that's not a snitch.
And that's what I'm saying. People of this generation will call this old ass grandmother a snitch ass bitch. You snitch, grandma. I'm a law-abiding citizen. The cops came and asked me where this shit was going. I said the shit went over there. So that's what I mean by that. You
now,
feel me?
I do apply social consciousness to people, especially black people. So I'm not going to be so quick to throw somebody under the bus to this system. You got to be aware of what this system is and how the system works and what they doing to us. You know, this person that you just told on that might have earned a slap on the wrist or 6 months in jail might get life or might get sent to a prison where they get killed or whatever. So you got to know where you're sending people to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not so quick to send my brother or sister to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this system is the new slave system. You got to be careful about that.
No, you're right. You're right. So all right. So moving towards the end now. So you out now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I always
all the way off the damn.
listen, it be like that.
Nah, it was dope though.
So-
Learn some shit.
So I feel like everybody in life deserves a second chance. Nobody's gonna get shit right the first chance at all. So you out of jail now. What is it like transitioning for you? So like what's going on with you? Because a lot of people don't understand like like even if you try to go straight and narrow, it's hard to get a job once you got that on your record. You know, like they almost make it impossible for you to thrive in any way, shape, or form. So I know in the last episode we spoke about the Pink Panther clique and everything that's going on with that. So in reference to that, how is it for you to transition, and how has the Pink Panthers in general helped other ladies like you or whatever the situation may be transition?
Oh, good question. Well, transitioning was hard.
I can imagine.
You know, when you leave and the last income that you had was millions of dollars and you come home to absolutely nothing. I didn't have a dime. I mean, I was selling my books here and there, but I really literally had nothing. So I had to build myself up from scratch. That was very difficult. Yeah. First of all, you have pride. You know, I'm used to moving a certain way and I can't move that way and I have to suck it up. You know, I had to throw away my ego because I did have one, you know, and that was holding me back. I had to let everything go and just start from scratch. And that was very difficult, that transition. Coming home, you know, seeing anybody, family or friends that are in need, and usually you could be like, you can't do that anymore. You got to think about yourself. So that was a big transition of putting myself first. I used to put everybody else first. I had to put myself first and say, Aisha, you got to pull your boots up and get right before you can help the next person.
I don't remember if you said, did your father pass away while you was in prison?
My father passed away while I was
when she was in prison.
Oh, okay. And how did
and my brother got killed by the police in Nassau County.
Oh, wow.
Nassau County is relentless.
Oh, yeah, we don't fuck around with that.
Yeah,
Nassau, Suffolk, none of that. Anything past Green Acres Mall, I'm out of there.
Yeah, and they are the worst. And they kill a lot of people. A lot of people don't know. And unfortunately, my brother was one of them. So my brother got killed. My father got murdered, you know, and it was like coming home to that, because that happened all while I was away. So it's like coming home to like family members missing, you know. It was very hard. And then like people had this expectation of me. Oh, I should always get a bag. So I had that pressure too, like, you know, she gonna figure it out. And I really could not figure it out in the beginning. I tried. I owned a spa. I was pushing my books. I was like, nothing was just hitting. It was hitting. And now I'm doing, you know, and then I'm scared. You know, I got probation, you know, behind me, you know, and I don't obviously want to violate. Hell no. You know, so it's like, it was hard. It's hard. And I'm not a 9-to-5 person. I refuse to ever get a job. That's just me. You know, I'm the check writer. I'm the employer. That's just how I didn't want them to take that from me, because it was very easy to be like, you know what, I'm just going to get me a job. But I'm like, Aisha Hall can't get a job. She is the job, you know? So I had all of that. So transitioning to be back in a position where I'm still able to, you know, I do fortunately have a great employee. You know, me and Juana are partners, you know, and we're able to, you know, build back up. Obviously, not cutting corners is slower, but, you know, I'd rather get back to it slower than do it fast and end up messing up, you know? So, yeah, the transition wasn't easy, but definitely the Pink Panther clique helped me tremendously, you know, because first of all, you're dealing with women that came home before me that already were able to get a little bit of an understanding of how this world worked in this era.
In this era, yeah.
And, they helped me. They kind of laid the foundation for some things that I was doing, which was a big deal. Sunshine, Sunny Money Queens, Jamila T. Davis, Brandy, Free Pretty Girls. Shout out to Brandy. So, and Shawana, obviously, that's my best friend. So, they were home before me. I was like the last one to come home. So they kind of were able to make certain relationships already happen. So when I came home, the kind of red carpet was kind of laid out for me a little bit as far as contacts. I still had to prove myself, but I did have contacts. And that came from being fearless. I'm not being scared to show what you went through. A lot of people come out and they be like, oh, I was on vacation. Yeah, okay. No, you was in jail.
8 years, nigga.
Right.
It's a hell of a
So being
resort.
transparent helped.
Shit.
A lot of big time producers. Shout out to Fuse 808 Mafia. Shout out to Heatmaker. Shout out to people who have given me beats. I didn't have to just go to YouTube. I had Grammy Award winning producers that giving me tracks because of my story. Like, oh, we fuck with you, we support you. Like when you transparent with your story, it helps. So my story has been my lifeline. Like people are like, damn, they just feel like a level of empathy and sympathy for somebody who went through something so traumatic. That's traumatic. I don't have children. You know what I mean? And I do finally, I meet somebody when I come home that I was planning to be with, and then they got locked up. So it's like,
You get out soon?
I don't know, but the pandemic court is like closed. So.
Boy, tell me about it.
But yeah, I'm gonna speak that into existence. Yes, he is. Okay. But it's just like, and then I got violated because of that relationship, because two people was felons, So it's like, but I'm like, y'all lock up all black men. Like most of black men are felons. What the hell you want me to do? So.
Yeah.
So that's the story, but so far so good. A lot of big things coming. I don't know if Wanda told y'all she's doing a special.
You tell everything. Lay it all out for us.
Yeah, she's doing a special, a dope special. I don't know how much she's able to divulge about it because it's not out yet.
Yeah,
but,
she told us.
This is how we look out for each other. She involved me in that special.
Love.
So I'm a commentator on her program.
That's
I have
lit.
another situation. I can't talk about it, unfortunately, but it's a dope situation that's gonna put me on a world stage. So I'm just excited about everything that's going
We'll
on.
have to come back and when the situations get situated.
Yeah, we got to situate us.
Let us give us the details.
Give us the situation.
But, thank y'all for having me. This was a dope,
no problem.
dope conversation.
David, what Shawana said?
Yeah, did
it live up to it?
Did we live up to it?
Was,
we did
for
our
sure.
thing?
She said y'all was the truth.
There we go.
Listen, it is what it is. We the truth.
God damn
She
it.
ain't never lied.
God damn. Well, let the people know where they can find you at.
Okay, so y'all can find me on Instagram at The Real Aisha Hall.
Spell it out for them because they're a little slow.
THE, Real, REAL, Aisha, AISHA, Hall, HALL.
See, I was going to spell it with an I.
So I said spell it out.
With an A. You could Google me. You just put in Aisha Hall.
Google me, baby.
I always say that to people. Just Google me.
Google me, nigga.
It's all there.
It's all there.
It's all there, baby.
It's all there. That's what the name of the episode is. All there.
And you can YouTube me and see like my music videos and stuff. I rap. I'm not like the rappers now because the era that I come from, I think I kept that like a little bit of a, I don't want to use the word old school, but
nostalgic.
Like,
authentic.
Authentic.
There
yeah.
we go.
And all my bars are facts. I'm not talking made up stories.
Oh no!
Yo, if Live My Raps was a person, oh my god! If Live My Rap, I ain't the nigga to talk about my glory days, but if I had your glory, I'd be like, yo, listen, man.
Listen, kid.
Back on weight, I was the truth.
I feel like I should be able to make a living off of what I accomplished.
As you should.
I made a living accomplishing it, and now telling it. The story is to be sold. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So. I'll never stop telling my story because it inspires so many people because, a lot of people don't see a black girl that made that much money. They be like, wait, what?
I go from when I watched this shit, I couldn't even believe I was watching. I said, nah, this nigga is wow.
I'm so mad. I didn't know it had came out yet.
It been came out.
Remember when Shawana came, I said, yo, I just saw the preview. I'm thinking it's an up and coming thing like it's getting ready. So I gotta go watch that and I gotta go watch.
That's why I was
Is this
watching
like
in the
y'all
studio.
longest podcast? Like,
Hell
nah.
No?
Hell no.
Okay. I'm like, damn, I'm taking all
Nah, we've been keeping it kind of short as of lately, to be
yeah,
honest.
Real talk.
That ass.
We burn up the road if you let
Oh
us.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
But
That ass.
it's your boy Bruh from the. I'm leaving it at that. It's your boy Bruh. I don't got time for the.
Yo, listen.
Thank you.
Listen. Yeah. There we go.
Supposed to clap for
Clap it
that?
up. Clap it up. Here we go.
Fuck you, preach.
I'm dead. Yo, it's your boy Loon. We're gonna leave it at that. I'm thinking about how she made $2 million twice. I ain't make $1 million once. I've been thinking about that shit like the last. I've been thinking about that for the last 48 minutes. Like, yo, she really did that shit twice. Like you talking, I'm like, yo, she really did that shit twice. So I'm thinking like, yo,
What's up, Chad?
Yo, it's Shay. I'm Chad. And this is the freaking Frac Show.